Welcome to the Deep Focus Update. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for more updates and thrilling short scenes. Gap.3s. A storm is brewing in Washington, and it all started with an egg, or more precisely, 172 million of them. President Trump is reportedly furious after California rejected this massive shipment, turning eggs into a symbol of a deep national divide. The rejection is the result of a standoff between the federal government and California, with Trump calling it an attack on American farmers and families. 172 million U.S. eggs rejected has become a rallying cry, painting a picture of waste and bureaucratic overreach. In the White House, officials describe hardworking farmers being told their eggs aren't welcome in California, fueling frustration across the country. For Trump, this is personal. He's built his brand on fighting for the American worker and against regulations he sees as harmful. California's egg laws, he argues, represent state interference in national commerce. His anger is about more than economics. It's about the principle of who sets the rules for the country. The administration is now taking direct action, using the egg dispute as a weapon in a larger war against blue state policies. The so-called Carney's move has shocked Washington, not for its substance, but for its audacity. It signals that the Trump administration is willing to fight on every front, turning even the humble egg into a symbol of a fractured America. The egg fight is no longer just about breakfast, it's about who gets to decide the rules for everyone, and the battle lines are drawn. California's strict egg laws are the result of years of public debate and voter initiatives focused on animal welfare. It began with Proposition 2 in 2008, requiring hens and other farm animals to have enough space to move freely. After realizing out-of-state producers could still sell conventionally caged eggs in California, lawmakers passed Assembly Bill 1437, extending humane standards to all eggs sold in the state. The goal, a level playing field, and a market that reflects California's values. In 2018, Proposition 12 mandated a full transition to cage-free systems by 2022 for any eggs sold in California. Supporters called it a landmark for animal rights, arguing it would reduce suffering and improve food safety. These laws were driven by a belief that consumers should know how their food is produced and be able to choose products that align with their values. Animal welfare groups and voters saw battery cages as cruel and unnecessary. By passing these laws, California made a statement: ethical considerations matter, even if it means paying more for eggs. The state was willing to lead the way, regardless of the national backlash. In response, the Trump administration launched a major lawsuit to dismantle California's egg laws. The core argument: California is violating the U.S. Constitution by imposing its standards on the rest of the country, creating illegal trade barriers. The administration claims a 1970 federal law was meant to ensure uniform egg quality and safety nationwide, making California's stricter rules invalid. They warn that letting California's laws stand could lead to a patchwork of state regulations, harming the national economy. The lawsuit is framed as a fight for consumers, arguing that cage-free mandates drive up prices and hurt low-income families. Trump's team says they're protecting Americans from price gouging and defending traditional farmers from costly mandates. The message: the administration stands with farmers and consumers against what they call radical, unnecessary regulations. For Trump, it's about reasserting federal authority and protecting a key political base. The legal battle is as much about politics as it is about eggs. The egg law battle has real consequences at the grocery store. California's cage-free mandate forced farmers nationwide to invest in new barns and equipment, raising production costs. These costs are passed on to consumers, making eggs more expensive, especially in California. Opponents call it a California egg tax, arguing it hurts families struggling to afford basics. Many farmers faced a tough choice: convert to cage-free or lose access to a huge market. Some smaller farms couldn't afford the switch, leading to financial strain and uncertainty. Yet, as more farmers transition and big corporations commit to cage-free eggs, the price gap is narrowing. Even if the lawsuit succeeds, market forces may keep pushing the industry toward cage-free eggs. President Trump has loudly claimed credit for lowering egg prices, saying they dropped 87% since he got involved. The reality is more complicated. Wholesale egg prices did fall by about 50% in early 2025, but retail prices, the ones shoppers actually pay, rose by 25% in the same period. A dozen eggs jumped from $4.95 to $6.22 between January and April. Retailers often don't pass savings on to consumers right away, especially when supply is tight. So while Trump points to falling wholesale prices, families are paying more at the checkout. Economists note that presidents have little direct control over commodity prices like eggs. Prices are driven by supply, demand, production costs, and events like disease outbreaks, not White House policy. Trump's claims are more political than economic, using selective statistics to craft a winning narrative. The real story of egg prices is far more complex than any soundbite. The biggest driver of soaring egg prices isn't California's laws, it's bird flu. A deadly strain of avian influenza has swept through U.S. poultry flocks, forcing the culling of tens of millions of hens. This massive loss has caused egg supplies to plummet and prices to skyrocket, up 41% year-over-year by May 2025. The Trump administration's lawsuit ignores this, blaming California instead. Animal welfare advocates and economists say this is a distraction from the real crisis. Combating bird flu requires strict biosecurity, surveillance, and rebuilding flocks, a long, difficult process. The debate over cage-free laws matters, but it's dwarfed by the impact of avian flu. Any discussion of egg prices that ignores bird flu misses the real story. The egg fight is about more than chickens. It's a battle over states' rights versus federal power. California says it can set standards for products sold within its borders. The Trump administration argues this threatens the national economy. The Supreme Court has already declined to strike down California's law, a win for state authority. Meanwhile, nearly half the egg industry is already moving to cage-free, driven by both regulation and corporate demand. The lawsuit is part of a broader political war between Trump and California's Governor Newsom, turning food policy into partisan spectacle. The real question: do we want the lowest food prices, or are we willing to pay more for ethical standards? Who decides? Consumers, state voters, or the federal government? As America grows more polarized, these questions get harder to answer. The humble egg now reveals deep national divisions. How we resolve this fight will shape the country's future.